What's up and welcome to My Point of View. I am your fat and opinionated host, and I got some very, very bad news for Bryan Kohberger. As you all know, if Bryan Kohberger is found guilty, the death penalty is on the table. So we may be seeing Bryan Kohberger put to death. Now I know people feel various ways about the death penalty. It's one of those debates that I don't really get into. Is it ethical? Is it not ethical? Is it right? Is it not right? I understand arguments on both sides. I definitely wouldn't want to be judge, jury, and executioner. I wouldn't want to be placed in the position of having to take someone's life, even if it was, court mandated, if you will. So I understand the arguments around it. But unfortunately for Bryan Kohberger, someone who knows the law very well, unfortunately for him, around the time of the Idaho 4 incident, Idaho started talking about bringing back firing squads, death by firing squads. Which, when I think about it, I think of like 1800s, like back in the day type stuff. You know what I mean? Now, I know there has been firing squads in more recent history, but it's something that I think of like, would archaic be the right word? Barbaric? I don't even know if barbaric isn't the right word that I'm looking for, but it's definitely something that I view as like an old thing, Like, I don't look at it quite like being as old as like the guillotine and stuff like that and beheading people. But the firing squad is definitely something that I look at, and it gives me Revolutionary War, Civil War, 1700s, 1800s type of vibes. Musket type of vibes. You know what I mean? Well, just in time for Bryan Kohberger's trial, which I guess, it's coming well before the trial, but just in time, it looks like the Senate just passed the bill to bring firing squads back. The Idaho State Senate on Monday voted 24-11 to pass a bill aimed at reviving the firing squad as a penalty option amid a short supply of lethal injection drugs. Why is there a shortage of lethal injection drugs? Maybe because they're just selling the stuff on the street now and calling it other stuff. Damn, just give them some of the stuff that the kids are buying on the corner these days, and I'm sure it will take them out. People are dropping like flies these days. It's like back in the day, your parents would warn you, don't take drugs. They're putting stuff in the drugs. It's going to be bad. But now it's like they're really doing it. Okay, like back in the day, they would tell you that to scare you. And then, you would probably be okay. These days, man. It is getting bad. It's getting bad, people. It's getting really bad. House Bill 186, which passed the State House of Representatives with a 50-15 vote earlier this month, gives authorities the option to order death by firing squad if lethal injection drugs are unavailable within 5 days of the issuance of a death warrant. So, it looks like Bryan Kohberger may be meeting his fate via firing squad. How do you all feel about that? In a weird way, it feels fitting. Am I wrong for saying that? It's like in a weird way, this case has been a case that has stuck out to a lot of people, obviously. Because people are getting murdered every day. Let's be honest. So this case obviously stuck out to people. And I understand why. I think we all understand why. But it's almost fitting that in a case like this, that became so popular that the ending is something like this. The ending is Bryan Kohberger, death by firing squad. I mean, that's like, I don't want to say a fairy tale ending, but that's definitely one hell of an ending to this story, right? A story that gained so much popularity, a story that stuck out to people for various reasons, and it may have a very shocking ending, with Bryan Kohberger being one of the first people put to death by firing squad since they brought firing squads back. So, that's what Bryan Kohberger is up against. I guess we could argue if he gets the death penalty, doesn't matter how he goes. I mean, I have no power over it. I don't even want to place myself in the position of trying to choose which one I would pick. But like I said, this being it's kind of a big deal that they're bringing firing squads back. So for this to be tied kind of, indirectly to the Idaho 4 situation, it's weird. But like I said, it's going to be, if it happens, it's going to be a fitting ending to an already crazy, really unique story, if you will. But let me know your thoughts about this down in the comment section. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and remember, always remain opinionated.